foreign policy. Regarding the two wars that are being fought, and Mr. Houghton, you will begin this question, the answer. Regarding the two wars that are being fought, Iraq and Afghanistan, and that they represent the need to confront Islamic fundamentalism worldwide, do you agree that a component of American presence should be nation building?
Absolutely.
Why?
Well, I feel that America needs to establish a presence in the Middle East. I feel that the Middle East is a harbor for training grounds for terrorists. After 9/11, I went up to New York and I stood there from the ground zero as a firefighter. I looked around me and I saw what these people were capable of over there. We all did on television. I saw it close. I feel that America being over there now, it's just. I feel we need to support our allies over there, specifically Israel. I feel we need to support Israel, England, Poland, all of our allies over there that are getting shunned by this current administration. I feel we need to revisit and build our alliances with them. I feel we need presence in the Middle East. We need presence in Afghanistan. We need presence in Iraq. Thank you.
Mr. Winter, you have the floor for 60 seconds.
I'm not a big believer in nation building. I think it's the wrong way to go. Do we need a presence in the Middle East? Absolutely, we do. I think that the answer in Iraq and Afghanistan is to commit to the job. Let's get it done, and let's bring our troops home. We're going to have a presence there. That's part of the reason why we're there. What we need to do is to do what needs to be done to get the job done, build a stable government, and bring our troops home. That's the answer. Okay, we're going to have a presence long term there. If you talk to folks that are in the military, I have a brother that's serving in Afghanistan right now. We're going to have a presence, but we don't need to build their nation for them. We need to let them build their own nation. And we need to understand that, yes, we want a free and prosperous Afghanistan and a free and prosperous Iraq. But it's not going to necessarily look the same way as our country. They need to build within their own culture, and we need to do as we did in Eastern and Western Europe after World War II. We broke it in part. We should help them fix what we broke, and then let them build their own country.
All right. Mr. Adcock, you have the floor for 60 seconds. Do you need me to repeat the question, or are you fine?
I think I can handle it. All right. It depends really how you define nation building. Clearly, what was our reason for going to Afghanistan to begin with? It was because the country was entirely broken and it was being used as a terrorist breeding ground for Al-Qaeda, for the Taliban, for Al-Qaeda particularly. So we went there. That was probably one of the most incredibly successful wars that have ever been processed, using the people themselves, helping them, and helping the Afghan people to free their country. That was extremely well done by the Bush administration, in my opinion. We then, unfortunately, the Al-Qaeda seemed to have slipped away into Pakistan. But over the course of time, nation building at that point means stabilizing the country so that it will no longer be a breeding ground. As far as Iraq goes, Saddam Hussein was, in my opinion, a dictator, a madman with petrodollars who had declared war on us, and we needed to stabilize the country after we broke it.
Thank you, sir. Next question now. This is a domestic question. This begins with Mr. Quinter. This is an education question, and it regards No Child Left Behind, and in the environment in which the concept of school choice has not been overwhelmingly accepted, not broad acceptance in the nation yet. Do you agree with the continued use of a federal level, fiscally based reward-punishment methodology to standardize educational outcomes?
Well, from my perspective, when you talk about education, you always start from one basic premise. Education is best when it's kept close to home. School boards, teachers, principals, those are the folks that are in the best position to determine what curriculum a student should be learning from and what should be taught and how they should be taught. I think that we have a fundamental problem in this country that the federal government is too involved in education, period. And if we don't start to get education back where it belongs, which is in the hands of people that need to be controlling it, we're going to have a problem. Now, setting standards is completely different from funding. One of the things that we have a problem with in Washington is that we fund so much that there's no accountability in the education system anymore. For example, this new education bill just came down. The president is saying, hey, look, if you can't pay your loans back in 10 years, we're going to forgive it. If you're in the public sector. If you're in the private sector, we're going to forgive it after 20 years. Well, what's the incentive to actually get a good job and go out and pay your bills back? There's none. The problem is when the federal government gets involved, they throw a bunch of money around, and they think that solves the problem, and it doesn't get to the fundamental issue.
Thank you, sir. And Mr. Adcock, you have the floor, sir.
The specific question was with No Child Left Behind. Now, I concur. Education should be done at the state and local level. I don't know any parent who doesn't want the best education for their child. Now, if we're starting from the assumption that there already is money from the federal level and funding, then certainly accountability and standards are critical to that, which is included in No Child Left Behind. I am a big fan of school choice, and I see competition as a hallmark of our country, and the only way that we can actually truly improve and provide reasonable and good competition in education. I am positive toward charter schools and toward faith-based schools at a private level to compete with the public sector.
Mr. Hunt.
Thanks, Steve. The Department of Education was founded in 1979 under the Carter administration. Ever since then, our test scores have gone down. Our graduation levels have gone down. I think we need to push for more accountability in our schools, from the students and from the teachers. As far as federal funds being pumped into the school system from the federal government, no, it needs to be handled on the state level. And the schools, the teachers, the students, they need to be accountable to their state.
Thank you.